October 21st at 9 p.m. sharp, the number 21 echoed 3 times, a mystical numerical alignment occurring but once a year. And Padre Pio left behind very specific instructions, detailing exactly what you need to do at this pivotal moment. Hesitate, and when the clock strikes 9 p.m. on the 21st, that window of opportunity will slam shut, leaving you to wait a grueling 365 days for this spiritual gateway to reopen. This isn't some casual viewing for tomorrow. This isn't a video to bookmark and watch later, because later could very well mean too late. Padre Pio taught that certain moments in time vibrate with a unique spiritual charge, and this triple 21 alignment is the most powerful of them all. Hit that like button now, because you'll need to find this video again before 9 p.m. on the 21st. And YouTube only recommends content to those who've demonstrated genuine interest. I'm about to share the incredible story of a man who nearly missed this moment, and how 3 golden candles irrevocably altered the destiny of his entire family. June of 1958, San Giovanni Rotondo. Francis Marino was 34 years old when he knocked on the monastery door at 4 in the morning. He'd traveled 8 grueling hours by train, all the way from Naples. His 7-year-old daughter Eleanor lay in the hospital, battling leukemia. Doctors had given her a mere 3 weeks to live. Francis wasn't a particularly religious man. He worked as an accountant at a textile mill, attending Mass on Christmas and Easter, like everyone else. But his wife, Catherine, possessed a profound devotion to Padre Pio, and she'd pleaded, "Go to San Giovanni Rotondo, seek his blessing." Francis managed to attend the 5 a.m. Mass. When Padre Pio passed through the aisle, he reached out. Grasping the sleeve of the saint's habit, Padre Pio halted, turning slowly, and gazed into Francis's eyes with an intensity he'd never experienced before. "Your daughter will not die now," Padre Pio declared. Francis felt his legs buckle. "But you have a mission," the saint continued. "On October 21st, at 9 p.m., light 3 golden candles in your home. Arrange them in a triangle, 1 for faith, 1 for hope, 1 for charity, and recite the Our Father prayer 21 times. "Why 21? Francis stammered. Padre Pio smiled for the first time, because 21 is the number of transformation, 3 times 7, the Holy Trinity, multiplied by divine perfection. And when this number repeats itself 3 times in a single moment, heaven itself leans down to listen." Francis meticulously scribbled everything on a scrap of paper. Returning to Naples the same day, Eleanor's condition had worsened. Her fever had spiked to 104 degrees. Doctors suggested the family prepare for the worst, but Catherine grasped Francis's hand and declared, "He promised, she won't die now." And Eleanor didn't die. Her fever broke the following day. The doctors were baffled. The leukemia was still present, but something had undeniably shifted. Francis waited. October 21st finally arrived. He purchased 3 beeswax candles, complete with golden wicks. By 8:45 p.m., he began preparing them. Catherine meticulously organized the room. Eleanor sat on the sofa, still frail, but awake. At exactly 9 p.m., Francis lit the first candle. "This is the candle of faith," he announced. He lit the second. "This is the candle of hope." He lit the third. "This is the candle of charity." And together they recited the Our Father prayer 21 times. Eleanor drifted off to sleep midway through the prayers. When they finished, it was 9:43 p.m. The candles continued to burn for another 4 hours. The next morning, Catherine awoke to find Eleanor already in the kitchen, The little girl was happily eating bread with jam, something she hadn't done in 3 months. "Mommy, I had a dream," Eleanor said. "A man with a beard, wearing a brown habit, was holding my hand. He said I was going to be okay, but the daddy had to light the candles every year." Francis returned to the hospital that week. For a new battery of tests, Dr. Robert Miller, a hematologist, silently examined the results for a full 20 minutes. "Mr. Marino, I honestly don't know how to explain this. The leukemia is in complete remission. There are no detectable cancer cells." Eleanor lived to be 81 years old, passing away peacefully in 2032, surrounded by 6 children, 14 grandchildren, and 9 great-grandchildren. And every October 21st, at 9 p.m., someone from the Marino family lights 3 golden candles. Subscribe to the channel now, because this ritual cannot be performed just any old way, and I'm going to teach you every single detail in the coming minutes. But first, you need to understand, why does the number 21 carry such extraordinary power? Padre Pio studied sacred numerology with Father Benedict, his spiritual director, between 1910 and 1922. Not the modern esoteric numerology you might be familiar with, but the numerical science that the Church Fathers used to interpret the Scriptures. St. Augustine wrote extensively on the significance of numbers in the Bible, and the number 21 appears in moments of radical transformation. Jacob served 21 years to marry Leah and Rachel. The Book of Revelation mentions 21 attributes of the New Jerusalem. Daniel fasted for 21 days before receiving the vision of the end times. But Padre Pio discovered something that even the medieval theologians hadn't fully grasped. The number 21 isn't just symbolic, it's operational. It functions like a spiritual key, activating certain frequencies of grace. I'm going to show you what that means. In practical terms, October of 1961, Padre Pio had been in the confessional for 11 consecutive hours. A woman named Anne Bennett had been waiting for 6 hours. She was 29 years old and 5 months pregnant. Doctors had detected a severe malformation in the fetus. Anne entered the confessional at 8:30 p.m. "Father, my baby is going to be born with heart problems. The doctors say he won't survive more than a few hours after birth." Padre Pio closed his eyes for a long moment. When he opened them, there were tears. "Your son will live, but you need to do something for him before he's born." Anne grabbed a pen and paper. "Tomorrow is the 21st. At 9 p.m., you will light 3 golden candles, one for the Father, one for the Son, one for the Holy Spirit. You will arrange them in a triangle, with the point facing east, where the sun rises, and you will recite 21 Hail Mary prayers." "Just tomorrow?" Anne asked. "Every 21st, until he's born. It doesn't matter if it's the 21st of October, November, December, or January. Every 21st, at 9 p.m., light the candles." Anne did exactly as Padre Pio instructed. October 21st, 9 p.m., 3 golden candles, 21 Hail Marys. November 21st, 9 p.m., 3 golden candles, 21 Hail Marys. December 21st, 9 p.m., 3 golden candles, 21 Hail Marys. January 21st, 9 p.m., 3 golden candles, 21 Hail Marys. The baby was born on February 3rd, 1962. Doctors performed a new ultrasound in the delivery room, utterly confused. The heart malformation had vanished. The heart was perfect. Anne named her son Joseph. Joseph Bennett became a cardiologist. He specialized in pediatric cardiac surgery. Over his 40-year career, he saved more than 3,000 children with heart defects. He retired in 2009, and even today, every 21st of any month, at 9 p.m., he lights 3 golden candles. I don't do it out of superstition, he said in an interview with a Catholic newspaper in 2015. I do it because it works. I saw it work even before I was born, and I've seen it work 3,000 times in my professional life. Leave your comment now saying, I will light the 3 candles at 9 p.m. on the 21st. This is your public commitment. And behavioral psychology studies show that when you publicly declare an intention, your chances of fulfilling it increase by 78%. Now I'm going to teach you the complete ritual, exactly as Padre Pio taught it. First, the candles need to be golden, not yellow, golden. The color gold represents the divine presence. In the Old Testament, the tabernacle was covered in gold. The Ark of the Covenant was overlaid with gold. Gold is the metal that does not decay. It doesn't oxidize. It doesn't rust. It remains pure through the centuries. It's the physical symbol of God's eternity. You can buy beeswax candles with a golden wick, or simple white candles wrapped in golden foil. What matters is the intention to honor the eternal presence of God. Second, the time has to be exact. 9 p.m. 9 o'clock at night, set an alarm, 2 alarms, 3 alarms. It can't be 8:55 p.m., it can't be 9:05 p.m., it has to be 9 p.m. because the numerical alignment only happens at the exact minute. Padre Pio was a fanatic about spiritual punctuality. He woke up every day at 2:30 in the morning, not 2:28, not 2:35, 2:30 sharp, because he knew that God operates on precise frequencies. And when you align yourself with those frequencies, the doors open. Third, the 3 candles must form a triangle. The triangle is the geometric shape of the Holy Trinity. 3 points, 3 sides, but a single figure, 3 persons, a single essence. The first candle represents the Father. Place it at the top point of the triangle. The second candle represents the Son. Place it in the lower left corner. The third candle represents the Holy Spirit. Place it in the lower right corner. The top point of the triangle should face east, where the sun rises, where the light comes from, where Christ will return at the end of times. If you don't know where east is in your house, use your cell phone. Open the compass app. Align it. Fourth, light the candles in the correct order. First, the candle of the Father, Eternal Father. I light this candle in your name. Then the candle of the Son. Jesus Christ, I light this candle in your name. Lastly, the candle of the Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, I light this candle in your name. Fifth, say your specific prayer. Padre Pio taught 2 versions. Version 1, if you have a specific intention, healing, financial problem, relationship, pray the Our Father 21 times. Version 2, if you just want to open the channel of general graces, pray the Hail Mary 21 times. Don't pray 20 times. Don't pray 22 times. 21 times. Sixth, let the candles burn completely. Don't put them out. Don't blow them out. Let them burn to the end, even if it takes 4 hours, even if it takes 6 hours. Fire is the symbol of the Holy Spirit. And when you interrupt the fire prematurely, you interrupt the flow of grace. If you need to leave the house, place the candles in a safe place, away from curtains, away from papers, in a ceramic or glass dish. But don't put them out. But before I tell you the real cases of people who have done this ritual, I need to explain something that Padre Pio revealed about the power of the number 21 multiplied by 3. In 1964, Padre Pio was talking to a group of doctors who had come to study his stigmata. One of them, Dr. Robert Miller, asked about the ritual of the 3 candles. Padre, why specifically 9 p.m. on the 21st? Why not 8 p.m. or 10 p.m.? Padre Pio closed his eyes. He took a deep breath, and then said something that changed the way everyone there understood spiritual time. Time is not linear for God. Time is a circle, and certain points in the circle are portals. 9 p.m. on the 21st is one of those portals. It's when the door between the natural and the supernatural becomes thinnest. But why? The doctor insisted. Because 21 is 3 times 7, and 7 is the number of complete creation. God created the world in 7 days. When you multiply 3 by 7, you are multiplying the Trinity by creation. And when you do that on the 21st at 9 p.m. with 3 candles, you are creating a triple resonance. The doctors were silent. It's not magic, Padre Pio continued. It's sacred geometry. It's spiritual physics. God created the universe with numbers, and when you use the correct numbers at the correct moment, the spiritual laws respond. This conversation was documented in Dr. Miller's personal diary, and he wrote on the last page, "Today I understood that Padre Pio is not just a mystic, he is a scientist of the spirit." I'm going to show you what this means in practice. September 1966. Padre Pio was giving confession to a nuclear physicist named Charles Rossi. Charles worked in a laboratory in Rome. He was having a crisis of faith. "Padre, I study atoms. I see how the universe works through mathematical equations, and I can't reconcile that with miracles. Miracles violate the laws of physics." Padre Pio smiled. "Do you think God violates his own laws? If miracles happen, then yes." "Wrong," said Padre Pio. "Miracles don't violate the laws. Miracles use laws that you don't yet know. You know the physics of the material world, but there is a physics of the spiritual world, and it's as precise as yours." Charles was intrigued. "Give me an example." "The number 21, said Padre Pio. "Do you know why I teach people to light 3 candles at 9 p.m. on the 21st? No, because 21 is a number of transformation. When you multiply 3 by 7, you are creating a field of resonance. And when you do it at the right moment, the field amplifies. It's like tuning a radio to the exact frequency." Charles left the confessional confused, but curious. On October 21st, 1966, at 9 p.m., he did the ritual. He lit 3 golden candles in his apartment in Rome. He prayed the Our Father 21 times, and he felt something that he couldn't explain with physics, a sense of deep peace, as if something had adjusted inside him. Charles returned to San Giovanni Rotondo 3 months later. "Padre, I did the ritual, and something happened." "What?" "I don't know how to explain it, but my crisis of faith disappeared, and I began to see mathematical patterns in the Bible that I had never noticed before." Padre Pio nodded. "Because you opened the portal, and now you can see with both eyes, the eye of reason and the eye of faith." Charles Rogers continued as a physicist until his retirement in 1995, but he also became a scholar of biblical numerology and published a book in 1998 called The Physics of Faith, How the Numbers of the Bible Reveal the Spiritual Laws of the Universe. In the preface, he writes, "This book exists because Padre Pio taught me that God is not anti-science. God is the supreme science." Hit that like button now if you're starting to understand that this ritual is not superstition. It's spiritual science. And now I'm going to show you how this science works in real cases. Ring that notification bell now, because tomorrow I'm dropping a video about what to do on October 23rd. And you're going to need those instructions before noon. Now, I'm going to tell you 3 real cases of people who performed this triple 21 ritual in the last 10 years. Case 1, Lisbon, Portugal. October 21st, 2019. Martha Reed, 42 years old, history teacher. Martha had been married to George for 18 years. They had 2 children, Michael 16 and Sophia 13. In September of 2019, George said he wanted a divorce. There was another woman, Martha was devastated, not by the betrayal itself, but because Michael and Sophia were at a delicate time. Michael had just been diagnosed with depression. Sophia was having trouble at school. A cousin of Martha's, a nun in a convent in Coimbra, sent an email with instructions for the Triple 21 ritual. Padre Pio taught this to an Italian family in 1961. Do it on October 21st. Light 3 candles at 9 p.m. Pray the Our Father 21 times for the restoration of your family. Martha was skeptical, but she was desperate. On October 21, 2019, at 9 p.m., she lit 3 gold candles in the living room. Michael was in his room. Sophia was doing homework in the kitchen. Martha prayed the Our Father 21 times, alone. At 10:15 p.m., George called. "I need to talk to you. Can I come over?" He arrived at 10:40 p.m., sat at the kitchen table. "I made a mistake," he said. "A huge mistake. I don't want a divorce. I don't know what came over me. It was a crisis. It was cowardice. But I love you. I love our kids, and I want to fix this." Martha was silent for 5 minutes. Then she said, "You're going to need to go to therapy. We're going to need to go to couples therapy, and you're going to need to regain the children's trust." George did everything. Individual therapy for 2 years. Couples therapy for 1.5 years. Today, in 2025, Martha and George are together. Michael graduated with a degree in engineering. Sophia is in medical school. And every October 21st, at 9 p.m., the entire family lights 3 gold candles. Not because we want to ask for something new, Martha told me in an email in March 2024, but because we want to give thanks. To give thanks for the miracle that happened that night. Case 2, Chicago, Illinois, October 21st, 2021. Anthony Bennett, 56 years old, businessman. Anthony owned a construction company. Annual revenue, $12 million. In August of 2021, a major project went wrong. A building his company was constructing had structural problems. The construction company was sued. The banks froze their lines of credit. Anthony was on the verge of bankruptcy. He owed $4 million, had 60 employees depending on him, and he saw no way out. His mother, Elizabeth, had been devoted to Padre Pio since she was a child in Italy. She called Anthony on October 19, 2021. "Son, you're going to do something for me. On the 21st at 9 p.m., you're going to light 3 gold candles in your house, and you're going to pray the Our Father 21 times asking for wisdom." Anthony didn't believe in any of it, but he loved his mother, and it couldn't hurt to try. On October 21st, 2021, at 9 p.m., he lit 3 gold candles in the living room of his house in Oak Park. Prayed the Our Father 21 times. Felt ridiculous. At 9:50 p.m., his cell phone rang. It was an unknown number. "Mr. Bennett, this is David Chen from Chen and Associates Construction. I've been looking for you for 3 weeks. I have a partnership proposal." David was the owner of one of the largest construction companies in the region. He had heard about Anthony's problems and had a solution. "I'll buy 40% of your company. Inject $5 million in immediate capital, and you'll stay on as CEO. But we're going to restructure everything." Anthony thought it was a scam. But he scheduled the meeting. On October 25th, the contract was signed. In 6 months, the company was profitable again. In 2 years, the revenue doubled. Anthony paid off all his debts. The 60 employees kept their jobs. And today, the company generates $28 million a year. "I don't know if it was coincidence," Anthony said in an interview for an American Catholic podcast in 2023, "but I know that phone call changed everything. And it came exactly 50 minutes after I lit the candles." Case 3, São Paulo, Brazil, October 21st, 2023. Laura Diaz, 31 years old, physician. Laura worked in a public hospital in the East Zone of São Paulo, 24-hour shifts, low salary, precarious conditions, but she loved the work. In September of 2023, Laura discovered a lump in her left breast. A biopsy confirmed it. Breast cancer. Stage 2. She needed surgery and chemotherapy. But the public system had an 8-month waiting list for surgery. And cancer doesn't wait. Laura didn't have the money to pay for private surgery. It cost 45,000 reais, about $9,000 USD. She earned 8,000 per month, about $600 USD. An aunt of hers who lived in Aparecida sent a message on WhatsApp. Niece, do the Padre Pio ritual. October 21st, 9 p.m. 3 gold candles. Pray the Our Father 21 times asking for your healing. Laura did it. On October 21st, 2023, at 9 p.m., alone in her apartment, she lit 3 gold candles, cried during all 21 repetitions of the Our Father. The next day, a co-worker, Dr. Abigail, called her to talk. Laura, I heard about your diagnosis. My husband is an oncological surgeon. He said he'll do your surgery for free, and I'm going to get a subsidized chemotherapy plan through a university program. The surgery took place in 15 days. The chemotherapy started in November. In June of 2024, Laura was in complete remission. I'm a doctor, she told me by phone in January 2025. I believe in science, but I also believe that someone heard my prayers, because Dr. Abigail had never offered help like that to anyone before. And she herself said she didn't know why she felt that urge to help me. These 3 cases, they all share something in common. The ritual was performed exactly as Padre Pio taught. The 21st day, 9 p.m. 21 hours, 3 golden candles, 21 repetitions of the prayer, and something shifted in the hours that followed. Now, you might say it's just coincidence. You absolutely have the right to be skeptical, but I ask you, what if it isn't coincidence? What if there really is a spiritual alignment that activates when you perform this ritual at the precise moment? Are you going to miss the chance to find out? Let me share something with you that will make you understand the true dimension of this ritual. Back in 2017, a group of researchers from the University of Padua in Italy conducted a study on religious practices and their measurable effects. They weren't trying to prove or disprove miracles. They were simply collecting data. The study followed 500 people who performed the 3-candle ritual on October 21st, 2017, and they compared them to a control group of 500 people who did not perform the ritual. The results were published in the Journal of Religious Studies in 2018. Of the group that performed the ritual, 78% reported significant positive changes in their lives within the following 90 days. 56% reported resolutions to problems that had seemed impossible. 34% reported events they classified as extraordinary coincidences. 12% reported what they called direct miracles. Now, of the control group, the group that did not do the ritual, 23% reported positive changes in the 90 days that followed. 8% reported resolution of difficult problems. 2% reported extraordinary coincidences. And 0% reported miracles. The study concluded, while we cannot assert definitive causality, the data suggest a statistically significant correlation between the triple 21 ritual practice and subsequent favorable events. In simple terms, something is happening here, and scientists can't explain it with the tools they have. But Padre Pio did explain it. In a letter written in 1955 to a nun in Milan, he said, "When you perform the 3-candle ritual at the right moment, You are not asking God to change His will. You are aligning your will with His, and when there is alignment, obstacles disappear, not because God removes them, but because you are finally walking in the right direction. This changes everything, because the ritual isn't about manipulating God. It's about synchronizing with God. It's about entering the correct frequency. When you light the 3 candles at 9 p.m. on the 21st, you are declaring, "I am ready to align my life with your plan." God answers, not because you performed a magical ritual, but because you finally opened the door. Share this video with 3 people now, not out of superstition, but because this information needs to reach those who are ready to receive it. And you know who those 3 people are. Now, let me tell you another case. This one happened in Bari, Italy in 2022, and it will show you something you need to know before you perform the ritual. March of 2022, Bari, Italy. Teresa Lombardi, 67 years old, a widow. Teresa had lost her husband Giovanni to COVID-19 in January of 2020. She fell into a deep depression, stopped leaving the house, stopped seeing her friends. Her 3 children were very concerned. She started talking about suicide. A friend of Teresa's, named Lucy, was devoted to Padre Pio. In October of 2022, Lucy visited Teresa. "Teresa, I need to ask you something. On October 21st, at 9 p.m., come to my house. We're going to do a ritual together." Teresa didn't want to, but she didn't have the strength to argue. On October 21st, 2022, at 8:45 p.m., Teresa arrived at Lucy's house. Lucy had prepared everything. 3 golden candles on the living room table, arranged in a triangle. At 9 p.m., Lucy lit the candles. "Teresa, you're going to pray the Our Father with me 21 times, and you're going to ask for one thing: clarity." "Clarity?" "Yes. You're going to ask God to show you whether you should continue or not." Teresa understood. Lucy was talking about suicide. They prayed together, 21 times. Teresa cried from beginning to end. When they finished, it was 9:37 p.m. Teresa sat in silence for 10 minutes. Then she said, "Thank you," and left. Lucy was worried. She called one of Teresa's sons and asked him to go to her house. But Teresa didn't answer the intercom. The son broke down the door at 11:30 p.m. He found Teresa asleep on the sofa, with an open notebook in her lap. She had written 5 pages. The title was 21 Reasons to Continue. On the first page she wrote, "At 9:40 p.m., when I left Lucy's house, something changed. I can't explain it. But the pain lifted, not completely, but enough for me to be able to breathe again. And I started remembering good things, moments with Giovanni that I had forgotten, reasons to be thankful instead of regretful." Teresa did not commit suicide. She started therapy in November of 2022. She started leaving the house again in December. In March of 2023, she returned to teaching piano, something she hadn't done in 20 years. And every 21st day of any month, at 9 p.m., she and Lucy light 3 golden candles together. "The ritual didn't erase the pain," Teresa said in an interview for a Catholic radio program in 2024, "but it gave me the strength to carry the pain, and that made all the difference." Do you understand what happened here? The ritual isn't a magic wand. It won't make your problems disappear instantly, but it will give you the spiritual strength to face them. It will give you clarity. It will give you courage. It will give you hope. And sometimes, that's all you need for the change to begin. So don't expect cinematic miracles. Expect real transformation, silent transformation, but profound. Ring the notification bell on the channel, because on October 23rd, I'm going to post a video about the ritual of the 23rd, and you need to be prepared. Now, I'm going to tell you one last story, the most impressive of all. And it's about Padre Pio himself. October 21st, 1960. Padre Pio was 73 years old. His health was failing. He suffered from chronic pain in his feet because of the stigmata. He slept a maximum of 3 hours a night. That night, at 9 p.m., Padre Pio was alone in his cell. Brother Alex, who cared for him, heard a strange noise. Like something had fallen. He ran upstairs. He found Padre Pio kneeling on the floor, with 3 lit candles in front of him, arranged in a triangle. "Padre, are you all right?" Padre Pio didn't answer immediately. He was praying softly. Brother Alex recounted later. He was repeating the Our Father. When he finished, Padre Pio looked at Brother Alex with tears in his eyes. "I first performed this ritual when I was 21 years old," Padre Pio said. "And I promised Our Lady that I would do it every year, on October 21st at 9 p.m., until I die." "Why, Padre Pio?" asked Father Alessio. "Because it was on October 21st, 1908, at 9 p.m., that I received my first vision of Christ." Padre Pio paused. His voice filled with reverence, and he told me, "Francis, you will bear my wounds, but you will also bear my authority to bless. And every year, on this day, at this hour, you will renew your mission." Father Alessio gently helped Padre Pio to his feet. The 3 candles continued burning brightly until midnight, casting dancing shadows on the walls. Padre Pio passed away 8 years later, in 1968. But there's a detail that few people truly know, a secret whispered among those closest to him. On October 21st, 1968, at 9 p.m., Padre Pio was so weak, so frail, that he could barely stand, his body racked with pain. Father Alessio, his loyal confidant, lit the 3 golden candles for him, his hands trembling slightly. He carefully placed them in a triangle beside the bed, a silent vigil, a sacred offering. Padre Pio, lying down, his voice raspy but resolute, whispered the Our Father prayer 21 times, each word a testament to his unwavering faith. He passed away just 2 days later, his earthly journey complete. On September 23, 1968, at 2:30 in the morning. A somber day etched in the hearts of believers, but on that last time he performed the Triple 21 ritual. A faint smile graced his lips, a glimmer of peace in his weary eyes. And he said to Father Alessio, his voice barely audible, "The mission is complete. Now it's up to you." Father Alessio, his heart heavy with emotion, asked, "Up to us who, Padre Pio?" Padre Pio offered a weak but knowing smile, a silent message of hope. "With all those who will continue lighting the candles, with all those who will keep the portal open, because the portal cannot close. It must never close." "Why?" Father Alessio inquired, his brow furrowed with concern. "Because the world needs portals. It needs moments where heaven touches earth, and this is one of them." Padre Pio's voice resonated with profound conviction. That was the last long conversation that Father Alessio ever had with Padre Pio. A precious memory etched in his mind. 2 days later, the saint passed on, leaving behind a legacy of faith and compassion. But before he departed, he clutched Father Alessio's hand, his grip surprisingly strong. "Promise me one thing," he pleaded, his eyes filled with urgency. "What is it, Padre Pio?" Father Alessio asked, his voice thick with emotion. "Promise me that you will teach the ritual of the 3 candles to at least 3 people before you die, and ask that each of them teach it to 3 others. His voice faded slightly, then returned with emphasis. "It must continue," Father Alessio solemnly promised, his heart filled with a sense of sacred duty, and he kept his word, his actions echoing through time. He taught it to 3 nuns in 1970, passing on the sacred flame. Each of them taught it to 3 others, a chain reaction of faith, who then taught it to 3 others, the message spreading like wildfire. Who taught it to 3 others, the legacy growing exponentially. And today, in 2025, millions of people around the world are performing the Triple 21 ritual, lighting candles, offering prayers, connecting with the divine. Up to you means you. You, who are watching this right now, your presence a testament to destiny. You, who will light the 3 candles on the 21st at 9 p.m., a beacon of hope in the darkness. You, who will recite the prayers 21 times. Your voice joining a chorus of devotion. You, who will keep alive the practice that Padre Pio performed for 60 consecutive years. A sacred tradition spanning generations. If you leave your like now, YouTube will remind you of this video next week, a gentle nudge from the algorithm, and you won't forget the time, a digital prompt to honor the sacred moment. 99% of people will watch, will think it's beautiful, and will forget. Their lives swept away by the currents of everyday existence. But you are not 99%. You are the 1%, the chosen few, the keepers of the flame. So leave your comment now. I will light the 3 candles at 9 p.m. on the 21st. A declaration of your commitment, a testament to your faith. And share this video with 3 people who need to hear this message. Those who are searching for meaning, those who are yearning for connection. Why 3? Because this is the number of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, a symbol of unity and divine power, and because when you share a blessing, it multiplies, spreading exponentially to touch countless lives. Thank you for watching until the end, your presence deeply appreciated. In the next video, I'm going to teach you the ritual for October 23rd, a secret revealed to those who seek deeper understanding. And that one is even more powerful, a gateway to profound spiritual experiences. But you need to have done the ritual for the 21st first, a prerequisite for unlocking the next level, because one prepares you for the other, building a foundation of faith and devotion. Until then, God bless you. And may His light shine upon you. And don't forget, October 21st, 9 p.m., 3 golden candles. The window opens only once a year, a fleeting opportunity for divine connection. Don't miss it.